everyone, welcome to another video. Today is another book talk made me read it type of video. This time I will be reading viral fantasy TikTok books. I feel like I can't trust any of them. Plot twists and shocks. The 4.5 or 5. This story is very unrealistic. Actually, this is post me reading the book, so I'm just gonna get straight into the whole vlog and you will see all of my thoughts at the end of the video, so stay until the end of the video. So let's get right into it because it's probably a long video and I'm excited to show you guys the books that I read. I'm super barefaced and I'm looking at myself in the camera. I don't look so great. We are starting off with The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I actually started this yesterday night, so I have read a few pages. I needed something to help me go to sleep, and usually when I read it calms my brain, and so I popped a melatonin in and I got to reading, and I think it took me around 30 to 40 minutes, but I got through 5 chapters. So right now I am on chapter 6, page 44. Ta-da! And I will be continuing this, but I just wanted to pop in to let you guys know that I started reading this. I know people have started this a year ago or even maybe a few months ago, but I'm only starting this now because I never really planned on reading this to begin with, because there is a trope in it that I am not a fan of, but I wanted to give it a chance because the year of 2023 is where I give books chances. So this is the chance. So far I am enjoying it, but I have to agree I didn't really like the trope. It has appeared in the first few pages that I've read, so that's where I'm at. I will give you guys updates when I have continued on. Oh my gosh. Hi, my hair is a mess. Sorry about that. This is what happens when you have wavy hair. Maybe I should tie it up. Okay, I think it looks a bit better now. I am already at page 120, so now I'm chapter 13. And I am very close to being halfway through this book. There is 370 pages, so that is 372 is 185. I think that was correct. I did mention that I didn't want to go into this in the beginning because of a certain trope. As I'm reading it, it's still pretty prevalent in the first few chapters of this book, but we have come to a point where I can kind of understand the behavior that this certain person has. Like, I can understand why he's being that way, but that doesn't mean that I condone his actions. I just understand why he's like that. So I think it's a little bit easier for me to swallow now that I'm reading this. I think because I've been reading a lot of romance books, and this is the first fantasy book that I've read in 2 weeks or something, I am pretty impressed and I like the world building. I also am very intrigued to see what's gonna happen with the politics and the royal family in this book. Point being, I am enjoying it. It's great. So I'm gonna continue reading. We are now halfway through The Cruel Prince. I'm now at page 183. I'm going to continue reading this right now. I just did a lot of admin work and work in general this morning, so we're going to continue reading. I am confident that I can finish this today. So far, I am enjoying this. I really like the politics in this. I've heard that this book has a lot of like riddles and a lot of betrayals going on, and I just cannot trust anyone. Like, there's a few characters that have been introduced and I feel like I can't trust any of them. I'm gonna continue reading and we'll see how I feel about this book. I read 50 more pages since I last spoke to you guys. It's getting better and better. The plot is building. I still don't know who to trust, but I feel like the characters in this, I feel like Jude is such a complex character. She has so many emotions, so many thoughts, she has so many conflicting feelings, and it's all because of the experiences she had as a mortal coming into fairy. I don't know, I just really like how complex she is. From a lot of the TikTok videos I've watched, I thought that there was going to be romance in this, but it's not very heavy. Like, I'm at page 200 plus and there still doesn't seem like there's gonna be a big romance plot, but I love the whole scheming aspect. I love that I don't know anything, and I love that I'm like so nervous to know what's gonna happen next. I've never read a book that has a character like Jude, and I really like that. I am so much more interested to see Cardan's character because currently there isn't much about him right now. So I am dying to figure out what's going on in his head. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this. I'm definitely going to finish this today because I can't put this down. I just want to know what's gonna happen. What? What is going on? Oh my god, Jesus.
I don't know what I just read.
I'm back. I am well over page 290 and we have gone through so much plot twists and shocks and surprises. One I guessed, the other one I didn't. I have to say I didn't see that one coming. It's so well crafted. The whole plot, brilliant. Oh my god. It's like there are so many hints in the beginning, but I just didn't really add it all up. So I'm surprised and I'm so excited to finish this book because less than 100 pages left and I just want to know what's gonna happen. Guys, I am done with The Cruel Prince. I definitely didn't expect the ending. I wasn't expecting it, but I really liked how it went on. I love the ending. I really like this book and I will probably give it above 4 stars, but I still don't know yet. I'm thinking about it. I love the storytelling. It was done so well. I love Jude as a character. I like that this is in her point of view and it's just hers because I get to see her grow as a character and it's so interesting. I am going to sit on this before I give it a rating, but now I'm actually gonna start my next book because I am excited to like get started into this. I'm in a huge fantasy mood. This book has been highly popular on TikTok. Just gotta be clear, I don't actually play TikTok a lot. I know like I say it as if I play it a lot, but as someone in her late 20s, I don't really play TikTok a lot, but I try my best to go there every week. And this week I've gone on there and my For You page is just all about this book. So I want to try it out myself. This is the book and I'm going to be reading this on my Kindle because it is actually free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you guys have KU, check it out. I just can't find the physical book anywhere in my country, so we're just gonna stick with the Kindle version. I am going to start immediately and I will give you guys updates when I have them. Hi guys, so I want to give a quick update. It is currently Sunday. It's actually really late at night and right now I'm already 68%, chapter 38 in the book The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. I have a lot of thoughts about this book, but I think I'm gonna put a comprehensive review at the end of the video. But I do want to say that I am really liking this book. It is so good. It's so different than any other vampire stories, and I also feel like the romance, although it's very little, I love it so much. The slow burn, so good, and I love the main characters. I love Oraya. She is so strong. She is so fearless. This is in her point of view, so I just like being in her thoughts and knowing what she's thinking. I also really like the love interests, Rain. Not really sure how to say his name, but he's also really fun and fascinating. And these two characters, they're so complex, and I love complex characters, so I love reading about this. I noted a lot of things as I was reading, so yeah, comprehensive review at the end, but I am flying through this. Honestly, I have been busy this past weekend, but I flew through this book because anytime I just wanted to sit down and read, and I'm so happy that I read this because it's so good. It's really good. I am enjoying it so much. It's so different than any other vampire stories I've read. Just the setting of it, the fantasy aspect, the magic system, everything is so different. If nothing else happens, this can even be a 5-star read. I'm gonna continue reading and I'll get back to you guys once I'm done. I am leaving soon, so I'm gonna quickly get this out. But I did finish reading The Serpent and the Wings of the Night yesterday. I finished it at around like 1 a.m. So I did push through and I finished it. And I have to say I loved the story. I love the plot. I love the pacing. I love the characterization. I am going to sit on my thoughts about this book first because it is actually so good, but I don't know if it's going to be 4.5 or 5, but it's definitely a high rating. It's been a while since I felt so good after reading a fantasy book. I did finish it. This is 98%, but I'm at the author's note. I am so glad that I read it, and I actually really want to jump into the second book right now because the ending, the plot twist, the climax, everything, so good. It wasn't anticlimactic at all. I love the ending so much. So I have to go out and run errands now. So I will pick another book tonight. I still don't know what book to pick for this, so that's why I'm gonna think about it first. And yeah, I am so happy with my choices because they're both surprisingly good. So hi, so I am back to pick the next book because I thought about this and I figured that I would do this as a fantasy book talk book as well because I am in a fantasy mood after reading 2 great fantasy books, and so I figured that I would do fantasy. And I remembered I downloaded a fantasy book on my Kindle recently because it's very difficult to get the paperback version here, and I figured that I would read it on my Kindle to save money. So the next book we're going to be reading is Shatter Me by Tara Mafi, and I am excited obviously because this book is so hyped. Everybody's talking about it, everybody loves it. Yes, I have yet to read it, so I'm going to be reading it in today's video. I just want to see for myself if I would like the series or not, and then if I do like the first book, then I will probably buy the box set. But for now, I had to buy the ebook. So it's been a few hours. I went out for dinner and now I'm back. I've been reading Shatter Me in snippets. I really like the fact that it's on my Kindle, to be honest, because I just need to bring a tiny tablet and I can read anywhere I want. I am already 17% into the book and I'm at chapter 9 currently, and I am having a great time. First impressions, the writing is definitely more YA that I'm used to. It's very easy to understand. A lot of the sentences are shorter because it's just easier to grasp the meaning of the words if they're used in shorter sentences. Easier descriptions, easier vocab. So in general, it's just a lot more YA than I'm used to. I read a lot of YA back in the days, but that was 10 years ago. Other than that, I am still thinking about The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. I still have it on my head on repeat constantly. The plot, the romance, the ending. So I would say that it's a little bit clashing with my current read of Shatter Me, but I'm gonna try my best to still read the story because I want to give it a shot. I'm gonna continue reading Shatter Me and then I'll come back to you guys if there are any significant changes. Hello, my dog is sleeping on top of me, but I wanted to give a quick update before I go to sleep. I have read up until 44% on my Kindle. I'm at chapter 23, which means I'm almost halfway there. Plot is really interesting and I really like it, but I am still having a hard time grasping the writing. It's definitely more YA than I am used to. I don't know, the writing is a little bit weird, but I think it really depicts the character of Juliet and how she talks because it's her narrative. So I think it's not really a huge problem, to be honest. I just am not used to the writing. The characters are interesting because from what I know, she ended up with a guy named Aaron Warner, and I don't think that's a spoiler. It's a known thing now. I'm not sure, but right now there's just another person in the picture, and I don't know if that's gonna play a big role, but I'm gonna go to bed because my dog is sleepy, I am sleepy, and I am exhausted. So I've read up until 65%. I am, according to Kindle, 1 hour and 15 minutes left in this book. I have found myself slightly skimming through the story. I just think that because this was released a really long time ago. It was released, I think, 11-12 years ago. I'm just not used to how simple and straightforward the writing is. And I also feel like some parts of this story is very unrealistic. I'm saying like the relationships and how they have come to like each other, all of that. I know it's not insta-love, but it felt like it's insta-love. So I'm at that point where I just don't know how to feel about this book. I'm not enjoying it as much as I expect to be. Probably will finish it today, actually, in a few hours. So I'm gonna push through this and I will quickly wrap up this video because this is the last book I'm gonna read in this video. After that, we will wrap up the video and I will get back to you guys once I'm done with the book. It is so gloomy today. So I did finish reading all the 3 books and I'm here to wrap everything up. The first book that I read is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is about Jude, and when she was young, she saw her parents get murdered by a certain fae, and that certain fae brought her to the fairy world along with her twin sister, Taryn, and her big sister, Vivi. In this world, fairies and humans don't mingle with each other. Most of the time, the humans don't even know fairies exist. And Jude has to grow up in this kind of environment where she is shunned by fairy because she is a human, and she grew up wanting to be stronger than the fairy. So she decides that she wants to enter knighthood of the royal family. But even though she wants to be a part of the knighthood, it will take a long ride for her to get there because she realized that not everything is as simple as it seems. And I decided to give this a 4-star rating. At first, I kind of thought about it being either 4.5 or 4, but in the end, I decided for a 4-star rating because there is a certain trope in this book that I didn't enjoy, and I kind of docked that point down. Other than that, I loved everything about this book. I liked the scheming, the betrayals, the idea that I couldn't really trust anyone in this book. I saw a few twists coming, but I didn't see a lot, and so that was great about reading this book. I was kept on the edge. I loved it, and I am so excited to get to reading the second book, which is The Wicked King. And then I went to read The Serpent and the Wings of the Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is on Kindle Unlimited, so if you guys want to read it for free and you guys have KU, go and check it out because I decided to give The Serpent and the Wings of the Night 5 freaking stars. Serpent and the Wings of the Night by Carissa Broadbent is about vampires, and these vampires, they have wings so they can fly. That's why it's mostly compared to ACOTAR because of the bad boys, but honestly it has nothing to do with ACOTAR whatsoever. So they're about vampires, and this talks about a girl called Oriah. She, when she was young, was brought by the vampire king called Vincent to live with him. She is a human living in a vampire world. The humans and the vampires, they do mingle, but the vampires basically think of the humans as prey and as food. Oriah basically survives in this vampire world as the human daughter of the vampire king. And because she did grew up in a very dangerous world, she decided that she wants to enter this tournament called the Kajari. A group of competitors, they will come into the Kajari and they will fight to their death, and only one will remain, and that one remaining can ask the goddess called Nyaxia to grant that certain winner a wish. And during the tournament, she meets an unlikely ally in the name of Ryan, and that's the love interest, and then you'll see the whole process, the whole journey. It was great. This book blew my mind. The pacing, the plot, the slight romance. It was all so good. I love the characterization. I loved the main girl character. I loved her strength. I loved how fearless she was. This whole book was in her point of view, and I felt like she was so real. The things that she felt, the things that she overcame because she was a human in this vampire world, and was also just realistic. Even though it is a fantasy world, but it just felt really realistic, and the world building was done really well. I could understand and get a grasp and imagine everything super well. The descriptions were great. I loved the pacing. It was just so good. It was just so well done. It's been a while since I felt like that, and the only book that made me feel like that was Chain of Gold, and so I knew this had to be 5 stars because everything more than I asked for in this book, and I loved every single part of it. The last book I read in this vlog is Shatter Me by Tara Mafi. I bought the ebook of this, so I did also read it in my Kindle, and as I mentioned throughout the video, I did find the writing a little bit difficult to get into. I think it was not just too YA, but also it was just not my style of narrative. There were a lot of repetition, not much punctuation sometimes, like missing commas, missing period marks. I felt like that was really hard for me to read and get into. As I went on, I think the feeling got even worse, and I realized that I really couldn't imagine the world that I was reading. And unlike the other 2 books in this video, the world building was not as good. I didn't know if this was fantasy or if this was dystopian. I also didn't like the romance in this. I know that she ended up with someone else. In this book, she was with another person. Maybe that skewed my perspective, but I don't know, it just felt really difficult to read, and I skimmed a lot. I tried not to, but I have to admit I did skim a lot. The ending was great though. I have to say the ending made me want to read the second book. That's a good sign. But overall, because the book was really hard to get into, I decided to give Shatter Me 2.5 stars. I can't expect to get 3 good books in a video, right? I am going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking until this point. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. And I hope you guys have a good day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!